everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to take on Bumbly Beach. This one's pretty straightforward. We just have to make sure we get 750 guests by the end of October year 2. 2 years is pretty nice. Long enough, but not too long. And then obviously keep our park rating up. So like any good seaside amusement park, there is a wooden coaster called the Big Dipper. It has generally pretty good ratings. High intensity ratings, a little high. Doesn't seem to deter people. Luckily, the nausea rating is generally good. There's only 2 trains and there's a small queue here, so I'm probably going to make some modifications right away to get hopefully one more train and make that queue longer, just so we can pack those guests in. There's a merry-go-round just kind of out here in the middle of nowhere that I don't really like. I'm probably going to move that elsewhere, probably towards the front of the park. The Ferris wheel over here, which for now, for me, it's okay. The line is a little long though, so it's, yeah, 11 minutes. People start to get a little grumpy when it exceeds 10 minutes. So I'm probably going to just reduce that a little bit. So let me make some changes here and we'll check back in. Welcome back. I'll go through some of the changes I made here. It's now May 13th, so not too long has passed. But starting with the Big Dipper, I basically added 2 links to the station here, which gave me the ability to add another train and just increase the beginning of the lift hill here. And then I rerouted the queue, so it's obviously not short, not being fully utilized at this point, but I think it will be soon. One other change that I realized I needed to make was it was coming in really fast to the station here. There's 2 bunny hills and bunny hops, and then basically this little S-bend going right into there. So it was going pretty fast, which added to the intensity. And I was concerned about if there's ever a station brake failure, it would just explode. So I took out one of those bunny hops, added a brake run. It still comes in a little fast, but who knows if it'll be okay or not. I also added a little on-ride photo here to help with some revenue and adds to the excitement rating as well. And as I said, I wanted to get rid of the merry-go-round or relocate it. So I created this loop here because people were getting stuck in the dead end. It gets really crowded by the Big Dipper, and that created a nice pocket for this merry-go-round. And then I added the spiral slide as well. I also added my little bump out, a little typical bump out for food and drinks, which the guests went to right away, so they're enjoying that. And I just shortened the queue here at the Ferris wheel, so now it's broken down, but the queue time was about 7 minutes, which is better than the 11, so hopefully they won't be as grumpy. So we're already almost to 350 guests, which is, I believe, almost our halfway point. We obviously got a lot of time here, so I'm just going to slowly kind of figure out how I'm going to expand. Otherwise, everything seems to be going okay, so we will check back in soon. Alright, it is now September year 1, so a couple months have passed now. Going kind of slow with this, but you can see filled out this middle section here, just trying to use as much real estate as I can. Let's go ahead and start with some of the changes. Basically wanted to create a loop because we had the path going down this way and then the path going down this way towards the Ferris wheel. Typically don't like dead ends just because then guests go back and forth and that main artery is going to get pretty crowded. So went ahead and created a loop around here, and then we had a void space, which I try not to have too often. So built this junior coaster. Haven't named it yet, and it's got pretty good stats for a junior coaster. High excitement rating. Glad that one is the highest of the 3. Pretty good nausea rating. Haven't had too many sick people coming off of it. Still some. And yeah, so then I added a little forest. I really like the levels that you can have. You can really get away with building forests just because it's easy to fill in some of that space. But this is a nice big plot of land. I added some sand in some areas where I have palm trees, but since there's a forest out here, basically just use those same trees in here, so it kind of carries the terrain and the local flora. Sorry, local fauna. No, flora. Yeah, flora. And so once I did that, I also just inherited or I unlocked the pirate ship. So I put that in the middle here to help with some. I think it probably helps with the excitement rating for the junior coaster and just some nice dynamics. And I also built the observation tower and the twist over here, scrambled, also known as scrambled eggs. And also did a little burger stall here just to add another offering for food instead of just French fries. I'm not sure if people get tired of just fries or kind of how that works in the code. If anyone knows, let me know. I haven't really had strong enough interest to really go find out exactly what how guests choose which food they like. So that is where we're at. No other accidents. We've got 540 guests. It's a little less than 200 more than what we had a couple months ago. I haven't had to use any advertising yet. We only have to get up to 750, so 210 more guests now, 209, and hopefully can get there without doing any advertising. It'd be kind of nice to do that. Some of the other levels you really need to do advertising and feel to make it. This one not so much. So that's it. That's where we are right now. So stay tuned and we'll see what happens going into March of year 2. And we're now into year 2. Again, this one's been a bit of a slow process for me. I didn't make any big leaps or bounds when it comes to this park, but I haven't really found a reason to just yet, but just taking time and enjoying it. We're now up to about 660 guests, and it's going up, which is good. Park rating is 893, so we're close to 750. Again, haven't had to use any advertising just yet, and I've also and there's been really no reason to, but I'm able to I paid down some of the loan, 5,000. Might just try to get down to 0, just as a little personal goal. Should be able to do it. The biggest change here is just basically created another loop for my next expansion. Just did one more food stall area here for let's use the 3 main food groups: hamburger, French fries, and soft drinks. People seem to be enjoying it down here, and then also built a go-kart. Relatively short line just because it's a low capacity ride. We got 5 minutes. I could have built a little bit longer line if I wanted to, but where I put it just really didn't have the room. I don't really like to go underneath all this because then it removes supports and it looks fake unless I built a house around it, and it looks weird. Try to be as generally realistic as possible. The stats on this are good. High excitement rating and low, so people seem to be enjoying it. And go-karts you can generally charge a lot more than other rides, almost if not a little bit more than some of the coasters. So it's $8 an hour now. Haven't had any complaints or people saying it's a good value, so I'm gonna keep it there for now. Still got a good line for the Big Dipper, and we'll check in on the junior coaster. Not much of a line here, but people still seem to be going on it. I dropped the price 50 cents, but still went down a little bit, but $9,500 an hour is fine. I haven't had any significant financial troubles on this level. So really have this plot here that I could put a couple things in. I got the ends of the park, which I kind of want to do. I need to probably expand down here next just because most of the people are headed this way and I want to spread out the crowd as much as I can. You can see down here, especially when people get off the ride, it gets a little crowded, and up here it just seems congested. So why not make use of our space? Otherwise, there's again, everything seems to be going swimmingly on this level so far. I haven't had any issues. I've got 7 handymen on my staff. One I just dedicated to mowing grass. Usually I don't worry about that too much, but this area looking like that just bothered me a little bit, so I got one. And then I've just got 2 mechanics. Haven't had any complaints about long delays. In my inspection for my coasters is 10 minutes, but all the other attractions are at 30. No security, no entertainers at this point. So as I said, yeah, it's March 27th now. Probably can go expand a little bit down here, and then we'll check back in. I'll talk to you soon. All right, we're further ahead now, and it's 13th of July, year 2, so we've just got a couple more months left, 3 more months, actually. And you can see we've kind of filled out a lot of this space, and so we've really got this strip left. Again, usually don't cover this much real estate, but figured why not this time. It's just a little more fun, actually. Since I don't really have to worry about going into year 3 and coming up with new attractions and deleting stuff, I just figured I'd try to fill the space out as much as I can by the end of this October. So, as I mentioned, I wanted to go ahead and add something down this way to draw some of the crowd, so I added a Virginia reel. This one's just called Bumbly Buckets because they look like buckets. And it's got pretty decent ratings. The excitement rating is the highest, 539. It helped a little bit with some of the trees and some of the landscaping. And charging $650, probably go more, but for me, if I was going to, I wouldn't probably pay more than $650 for this thing. It looks fun, but a little nauseating. And so everyone seems to be enjoying this. Not too much crowd down here, but it's helped fill out the space. And over here, basically, last time we had this loop, which was left untouched, had the haunted house, which I like to put in, so I put it in the corner, kind of made sense, and filled it in a little bit. Give these neighbors here something ugly to look at. Maybe they'll like it, who knows. And it seems to be pretty popular. The last thing here, actually, oops, forgot to open it, is the miniature railway. I want to just fill out the space, and I realized I had the theming and the theming to build these houses, so like, why not? Let's throw some of them in there, make it look like a park / housing area. It doesn't make too much sense, but it looks nice. And right now we've got excitement rating of 383, low everything else, so it's decent. I would go on it. This looks fun. So far, not too many people interested just yet, but whatever. It looks nice. And so that's basically where we are at now. We are very close to 750 guests. I haven't had to use any advertisement yet. I might need to near the end here just because I don't know if I'm going to be building anything large. I might try to do maybe one more wood coaster in the back here. And then if I need to, I'll do quick advertising for the park in particular, where I definitely should be able to get those people through. Most likely the largest complaint here is running out of cash. There's no ATM here as far as I know. I don't think you can unlock it since it's one of the original items. And people feel sick. It's fine, don't have the first aid station, but everyone seems to be okay. Otherwise, nothing else really to respond to from what I can tell. And actions, nothing really exciting here. I haven't had to take out any additional loan, just finished paying it off, $4,000 in cash, so doing pretty well for the ride tickets. So I think just to be safe, I'm going to just go do one advertising for the park, and just to give my new miniature railroad some love, I will go ahead and do some free rides on that and see if that helps pick it up. So as I mentioned, near the end of July here, got August, September, October left, and so I'm probably going to do one other coaster to fill in this last piece of real estate here, and that should be enough to then call this one done. Okay, looks like we're up to round out year 2. It's October 20th. So right when I was about to go build a wooden coaster, I realized I had about a week or so until I got the hyper coaster, so I figured that's a good out and back place to throw that in there. So America, the coaster, the ride, red, white, blue, and a lot of people are flocking to it, and I think still, yeah, you got 49. Let's see, there's another 33 people coming up. My advertising ran out, the one that I did earlier. I haven't advertised again. About a couple minutes ago, we were at about 770 or so, and I was thinking that maybe need to advertise, but with the opening of the America, the coaster, the ride, I think it might bring in enough people. Usually, I mean, at this point too, because I've been starting to charge more for my rides, which helps, but also people run out of money quickly. So if you don't have any ATMs, then people generally leave. So people don't hang around as long. But luckily, we've got enough people coming in here, less people leaving, so I don't think we'll have to worry about that. So we're good there. We've got a park rating of 912, which is a little higher, but that's generally fine. And finally got a little line for my miniature railway. I'm very proud of this one. Got 3 people on the ride, and yeah, no more line. So the stats on the American Coaster, we got 7.13 for the excitement rating. Generally pretty good. And if I had a little more time, probably could have perfected it a little bit more. Hopefully gotten to the very high, but going underground would have helped. Maybe done a little bit more planning with the theming, but we're good. It did the trick. So now we're over 800 guests. The line seems healthy. I'm charging $10 for this one. No one's really complained yet. So that is basically get a view of my Bumbly Beach. Used as much real estate as I could. I don't think you can buy any land in this one or any land right. You could buy some land rights up this way, which I don't think I would really need to do that if I decided to just keep playing. Obviously, I would need to do that at this point. So we could build some boardwalk out here on the beach and into the water. But I think we're good. So we're going to hang out here just for a second. Should be popping up that we beat it. Hopefully. I think I got it all. 750. Great. Whoops. And the window just disappeared. Happened right away. There we go. Congratulations. We did it. So this is another pretty easy, straightforward one, but it's nice and easy, just and nice and fun, just because we have a generally flat, open area. There's really no crazy demands. The guests behave normally, and it's another fun practice one just to kind of play around with the your design. So thank you for watching Bumbly Beach, and I will see you for the next video.